So I've made my way to the Harold B. Library on the beautiful campus of Brigham Young University. Out here we have lots of very smart people. Well, they're supposed to be smart because according to sources, not too many knuckleheads get accepted to BYU. And if there are knuckleheads, they certainly won't be hanging out at the library. Alright, do you know what a faulty parallel is?
I do not know what that is.
Do you recognize it? Have you ever heard that before?
I've heard the term before, but I can't even guess it.
Do you know what faulty parallelism is?
No.
What is your native language?
English.
Alright, so you know English, right?
Fairly well.
Can you tell me what a faulty parallel is?
Faulty parallel?
Yeah.
No, I can't.
You can't tell me what a faulty parallel is?
No.
Alright, I'll give you a hint. It's something to do with train tracks.
Train tracks?
Yeah.
Faulty parallel? When they don't run parallel?
No, I'm just kidding. It's not that. It's a grammar rule. Do you recognize it? Have you ever heard the name?
No, I haven't.
Do you know what a faulty parallel is?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
What?
I don't know.
Oh gosh. Well, you're basically like everyone else out here. No one here at BYU seems to know what faulty parallelism is. Now, do you have any guesses what it could be?
No.
Anything from A to Z, what do you think a faulty parallel is?
Something that's not parallel because it's wrong.
Okay, wrong how?
It's faulty.
Alright. So what exactly is faulty parallelism? Well, the best way we can explain it is to look at some real-life examples from these websites. Here's an example of an unparalleled sentence. He liked to play basketball and riding horses, when it should say, he liked playing basketball and riding horses, or he liked to play basketball and to ride horses. Here's another example of a wrongly worded sentence. She spent the day visiting all the tourist shops and watched the children on the beach, and then she went back to the hotel for a late lunch. To make it parallel, it should say, she spent the day visiting all the tourist shops and watching the children on the beach, and then she went back to the hotel for a late lunch. Here's another example. Formerly, science was taught by the textbook method, while now the laboratory method is employed. When it should say, formerly science was taught by the textbook method, now it is taught by the laboratory method. The French, the Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese. In order to make this parallel, it needs the in front of each noun. The French, the Italians, the Spanish, and the Portuguese. The top one here says it was both a long ceremony and very tedious, when it should say, the ceremony was both long and tedious. And the bottom one here says, my objections are, first, the injustice of the measure, second, that it is unconstitutional. It could say to be parallel, my objections are first, that the measure is unjust, second, that it is unconstitutional. And finally, my income is smaller than my wife's, not my income is smaller than my wife. Now let's head back to the library because I'm curious to see if when we're talking in our daily lives we follow the rule of faulty parallelism. So before I explain to them exactly what it meant, I asked them a few questions. What kind of things does your dad like to do?
My dad likes to wave at neighbors and water the grass and fly airplanes.
Okay. You just gave us a non-faulty parallel sentence.
Okay.
So that's good. What's your normal day like?
Well, I usually get up, then I go to work, I go on a run, and then I have dinner.
Do you think what you just said is a grammatically correct sentence?
Yes.
Well, according to the law of faulty parallelism, it isn't. And you said you knew English.
Yeah, well, I guess my teachers didn't do a very good job.
Okay, before I tell you what faulty parallelism is, what kind of things do you like?
I love BYU basketball, I love BYU football, and I love gym.
Well, believe it or not, you just gave us a sentence that is not a faulty parallel.
Well, that's good.
Alright, so when you were in high school, did you take any English classes?
Yes, 4 years.
Okay, good. What else did you do while you were in high school?
While I was in high school, I went to hair school, I was a cheerleader, and I liked to go to the football games.
Now, I originally thought this was a faulty parallel, but upon further inspection, we have a past tense verb, a past tense verb, and another past tense verb. Therefore, it is parallel and a correctly worded sentence. Alright, so we are educating BYU students one at a time, and sooner or later everyone will know what a faulty parallel is. But, speaking of grammar, I have one more question that I think Peter's going to have to answer for us. Is this supposed to have an apostrophe in it?